This video is sponsored by Brookdale and the Grateful Life web series. We'll discuss it more in detail later in the video. Yes, I'm a bit biased given I'm in my 40s. But for all of you who are in a similar life stage as me, I want to share with you 40 simple reasons why I think life really gets better after 40. Number 1 reason why life gets better after 40. You can now make ridiculously corny jokes, and the best part, you can get away with it. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up? It was too tired. Number 2 reason. In the line of being confident with corny jokes, you're confident with your own fashion. You can rock your own style. In the past 3 decades, you've tried them all. The super cool, trendy fashion. The polished, I have it all figured out fashion. The relaxed, I don't care fashion. And now, you really don't care. You buy your pants from Costco, you wear t-shirts that you got for free from your latest work conference, and you show up to pick up your kids from school wearing a fanny pack. You rock your own style. Middle-aged style. Number 3, to go along with your middle-aged fashion, you can rock your own dance move. Or to be honest, you don't know any up-to-date dance moves that are popular these days, or have any desire to learn. So you revert back to what you know. The Running Man, the Humpty Dance, the Cabbage Patch. Makes it pretty obvious that you grew up in the 90s and your kids are embarrassed to be seen with you. But by the time you reach your 40s, you really do not care. What really matters is that you're having fun and being true to yourself. Number 4, in general, you're just more comfortable being yourself. When you were younger, you spent so much of your energy caring so much about what other people thought about you. You gave other people power by allowing them to dictate your life. But now in your 40s, you're a lot more comfortable being yourself. You feel a lot more comfortable in your skin. You make decisions without caring so much about what other people think. You wear things without thinking about what other people would say. You say things that are true to yourself, not what others want to hear from you. When I turned 40, I was like, I accept myself more now. It was much more comforting. Number 5 reason why life gets better after 40. You have a better grip of reality. Not like we were out of touch with reality before, but it's true that when many of us were young, we were driven by over-the-top dreams and goals. Climbing Mount Everest, flying out to space as an astronaut, becoming a tech billionaire. I'm not saying we should discount our dreams and goals because what is life if we don't have our goals and dreams? It's just that by the time we reach our 40s, we realize what is realistic and what is not anymore. What is possible on planet Earth and what is a fantasy. Climbing Mount Everest is cool, but maybe I should start with climbing the local park. Flying out to space would have been awesome, but I'm content with flying to Cincinnati. Tech billionaire? I'm fine with being financially comfortable. And a better grip on reality helps with the next reason why life gets better after 40. Number 6. You now realize everyone is winging it. You had a growing suspicion in your 20s and 30s, but now you can confirm it. You're now the one making executive decisions at work. You write now the so-called important reports that everyone reads, and you attend parent-teacher conference because you're a responsible adult. But you see it even more clearly now. Everyone is winging it because you are winging it. No one has life figured out, and that feels great to know. Number 7, you have greater clarity about life. When you're in the 4th decade of your life, you have experienced a lot. Definitely not everything compared to someone in their 8th decade of life, but you've at least experienced enough to help you better understand more about yourself. You've been in love and out of love. You've been accepted and you've been rejected. You've worked with some amazing people and some crazy ones. You've found success and you've found just as many failures or probably more. So now you have a more clear picture about who you are and what you want out of life going forward. And that is gold. Number 8, you have a greater control over your life. When you were young, you were afraid to say no. You thought closed doors were permanent. But now, after having faced many closed doors, you realize they're not a big deal at all. Often, they're a blessing in disguise. Thus, you make decisions more boldly. You take greater control of your life because it is your life. I believe the second half of one's life is meant to be better than the first half. The first half is finding out how you do it, and the second half is enjoying it. Number 9, you know your worth and value. You've accomplished things. Now you can confidently say, yes, I can do that. I'm good at that. I am an expert. As opposed to, I think I can. I can try. You know what you're good at and what you're not good at anymore. You know your value in the marketplace. Number 10, you understand that life is longer than you thought, and that is great news. I used to think that everything in one's life was settled by the time you turned 30. Your career, your family situation, your finances. Thus, anything after that was too late. But it is never too late. When you're in your 40s, you realize that life is a long journey. People are reinventing themselves all the time. So why not you? Number 11, you realize that your parents had no idea what they were doing. You remember when your parents were at your age. As a kid, you thought they knew it all. You believed everything they said as the truth. But now that you're in your 40s, you realize that your parents had no idea what they're doing. Because you have no idea what you're doing. The truth is that no one really knows what they're doing, no matter how confident they might look on the surface. We're all living this one life for the first time. Number 12, because you realize you have a lot more in common with your parents than you thought, you have a lot more empathy towards your parents. All those decisions that they made to make your life miserable, you understand it now because you're making the same ones. You make your kid's life miserable. Well, maybe not you, but I sure do. That punishment you thought was so targeted at you, you realize they were not targeted at you at all because you do the same thing with your kids all the time. Make up stuff on the fly. And that makes you feel a lot closer to your parents, living long enough to appreciate your parents and long enough to have your children appreciate you. And talking about feeling a lot closer to your parents, if you're in your 40s, there's a good chance you started thinking a lot about your aging parents, about their health, their financial future, and just their overall well-being. Aging comes with its own set of challenges, and we want to be well prepared. Thus, it's important that we have conversations about planning for the future with our aging parents sooner than later. But are you struggling with how to best approach your parents? I sure do. Despite having made a whole video about how to talk to our aging parents about money, there is still so much that I don't know. Additionally, it can be so awkward. I mean, what can be more awkward than bringing up money with your parents, right? Especially if you didn't grow up talking about it. But not having a conversation can be detrimental, not only for your parents, but for you as well. Which is I'm excited to talk to you about a free resource being made available by Brookdale Senior Living, who I'm partnering with for today's video. On March 28th, they'll be hosting a webinar titled The Hidden Cost of Aging, where they'll dive deep into topics like unexpected cost of aging, rising medical costs for seniors, and different ways to better financially plan. It's part of the Grateful Life, a webcast series that provides free resources to help seniors keep an abundant mindset in this season of life. I'm a firm believer that you can never have too much information. And in this case, being better informed about the hidden cost of aging will only help you in your conversation with your parents. So sign up for the free webcast that is happening this week on March 28th. I'll have the link to sign up in the description below. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. Number 13 reason why life gets better after 40. You find peace in silence and stillness. When you were younger, silence and stillness made you feel restless. You felt the need to always be moving, always be doing something. Now, you don't get awkward by silence and stillness. You actually embrace it because you don't get enough of it in your hectic and busy middle-aged life. Number 14, you don't know any songs in the top 10. You tune into Spotify's top hits and you can't recognize any of them. And weirdly, you're totally fine with that. You rather enjoy the stillness and the silence. Number 15 reason why life gets better after 40. People don't look down at you because of your age anymore. It's the other way now. They call you sir or ma'am. A few years ago, I was at my nephew's high school graduation. I wasn't sure when his name was going to be called, so I started studying the program to see if I could figure it out. A student sitting next to me saw how confused I looked, so when my nephew was about to be called up, he kindly said, "Sir, I think your son's name is about to be called up." I didn't know if I should have been thankful or offended. Thankfully, the mature part of me got there first and thanked the student. Which leads to the next reason why life gets better after 40. But before we get there, a quick reminder to download your free one-page PDF companion guide for this video. It lists everything I'm covering here in a simple to digest one-page format. Unless you have a ridiculously good memory, 40 things is a lot to remember. So if you'd like a free copy of this PDF, please go to the link I'll have in the description below. Number 16, people come to you for advice. Maybe it has to do with your age or not. Regardless, in your 40s, there's a greater chance that young people will ask you for advice about relationships, career, money, and life in general. Hopefully, you have wise words to share with them. Number 17, in the theme of giving advice, now you can say phrases like back in the 80s or back in the 90s. Make you feel old? It could also make you sound wise. Number 18, you're no longer intimidated when you run into people in uniform. Police officers. When I was 19 years old and I got pulled over by the police, I was a nervous wreck. I thought I was going to get arrested. These days, when I run into a police officer, I'm shocked at how young they look. They look like they just graduated high school, and I'm impressed how well many of them carry themselves. Big applause. Number 19, you're now more aware than ever how precious time is. It felt like yesterday I was just graduating college as a 21-year-old. Where did the time go? I'm sure I'll feel the same way 20 years from now. Time is the most precious resource we have on Earth, and this realization really hammers home when we're in our 40s. Number 20, in the line of understanding how precious time is, in your 40s, you really understand what is truly important. Your health, mental and emotional well-being, close relationships, and financial stability. Everything else is just icing on the cake. Number 21, you own your weekends. When you were younger, your weekends were filled with activities. Most often, activities filled by other people. Brunch here, hiking there, dinner out Saturday nights. Social life was important. No activity over the weekend made you feel like a loser. But now, you love your weekend alone or with just your immediate family. It's your weekend and you completely own it. No one else. Number 22 reason why life gets better after 40. You get invited to less weddings. Probably because you keep busting out your 90s dance move every time you get invited. But the funny thing is, you kind of like the fact that you have your weekends back. Number 23, the theme of less wedding invitations, no more bachelor and bachelorette parties. Another awesome. Number 24, you regulate your emotions better now that you're in your 40s. You don't have $5 reactions to nickel provocations. The truth is that when we were younger, we had a harder time regulating our emotions. We all remember the high emotional highs of our young years. They can be exciting and exhilarating, but we also have to deal with the flip side, the low emotional lows. I'm sure many of us who have aged past the high drama years would rather not relive them if we could. I sure don't. Number 25. You don't get fooled easily anymore. When we were younger, it was hard to discern between true opportunities from too good to be true. I took infomercials at face value. What? For $49.99 I can get the whole knife set? And if I order in the next 20 minutes, they'll throw in a free Tupperware? I must drop everything I'm doing and order now before the deal ends. In our 40s, we don't get fooled that easily anymore. Or I hope not. Number 26 reason why life gets better after 40. You have fewer but better friends. By the time you're in your 40s, you've had all type of friends. Friends from childhood, friends from work, friends because your kids go to the same school. Well, with all that experience, you now know what type of friends you best get along with, and more importantly, what type of friends you want in your lives. Thus, you're a lot choosier when it comes to who you want to spend time with. Friends that are willing to listen, not just talk. And you're a lot happier because of them. Number 27. In the spirit of better friends, you have better, deeper relationships, especially with people closest to you. A friendship that lasts several decades is a lot more meaningful. A marriage that lasts 10, 20, or even 30 years is filled with so much depth. My marriage with my wife in my 40s is so much richer than when we were in our 20s. It hasn't been easy, but having endured many ups and downs, both painful and joyful moments, we've gotten to know each other even better now. We've shared our best and worst parts to each other, and we've become better for it. Number 28. You have many accomplishments you can be proud of. By the time you reach your 40s, you've done a lot, both in your personal as well as your professional life. You've built your career. You've executed key projects. Some of you have even grown families of your own. All things that you can look back on with a proud sense of accomplishment. Things that motivate you to do more in the future. But do you know what's more important than accomplishments? Number 29 reason why life gets better after 40. To go along with your accomplishments, you have tons of failures you can reflect on, possibly more than your accomplishments. If you're in your 40s, you know you have tons of failures that you can reflect on. I know, I sure do. I remember my embarrassing failures way more than I do my accomplishments. The gunnery certification I failed to qualify for when I was a brand new second lieutenant. The error in my financial projection that our CEO caught when I was presenting at the executive meeting as a finance manager. The YouTube video where I said the dumbest thing and only noticed it after it was uploaded and a bunch of people commented on it. Talk about failing in public. But I've learned so much from all these failures and I'm thankful for them. Another thing that failure has taught me? Money. Number 30. You are smarter with money. If you're like me, you made tons of money mistakes when you're younger. Bought things you shouldn't have, borrowed too much money, invested in things you had no business investing in. But through them all, you learn harsh lessons. Thus today, you are smarter with your money. Watching Financial Tortoise when you could be watching any other better personal finance channels on YouTube. See? You're already smarter with your money. Number 31. Because you're smarter with your money in your 40s compared to when you're younger, you now have a bigger bank account. Number 32. You have financial resources to pursue some of life's pleasures. If you learned money lessons and got smarter with money, you now have a bigger bank account and in turn, more financial resources. Thus, while your 20s and 30s felt like you were grinding away, your 40s now feel like you have some breathing room. You have resources that you can apply towards some of life's pleasures. You may not be able to get to everything on your bucket list, but even small pleasures make a big difference. Number 33. You have learned to accept your body. You might have more wrinkles. Your skin might not be as tight as they were when you were 19, but it is your body and you love it. Gravity and wrinkles are fine with me. They're a small price to pay for the new wisdom inside my head and heart. Number 34. Good genes matter less now. You know that a fit and a healthy body is something that is within your control, not something that some people are blessed with and some are not. You remember that kid from high school with a naturally perfect body, chiseled abs and wavy flowing hair? They were blessed with amazing genes. The guy hardly worked out, yet he looked like a GQ model. She ate whatever she wanted, yet she looked great all the time. Well, by the time we get to our 40s, no amount of good genes can hide bad self-maintenance. Number 35. In the line of good genes mattering less now, if you're in your 40s and are in a good physical shape, you're very proud of it because you've truly earned it. Beautiful young people are accidents of nature, but beautiful old people are works of art. If you have toned abs and a lean body in your 40s, you had to put in a tremendous amount of work. You really watched what you ate. You manage your schedule meticulously and regularly exercise. And not just any type of exercise. You push your body, but not so hard to injure yourself because you aren't as flexible as you once were. If you're able to do that on a regular basis, I truly applaud you. Number 36. Because you take tremendous effort to take care of your body, you come to love sleep again. Poor sleep is a culprit to so many of our mental, emotional health problems. So gift your body a restful night or a delightful afternoon nap more regularly now. Number 37 reason why life gets better after 40. You have less hair to comb. Well, not me obviously, but maybe you do. Remember, there is a silver lining to everything. Number 38. You feel bolder in your 40s. According to a 2018 study of datasets from the US Census Bureau, 42 is the magic age of successful startup founders. It's not the early 20s like the media makes us to believe. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs. These successful entrepreneurs, who all started their companies in their late teens and early 20s, are not reflective of the average successful entrepreneur. On average, they're actually older, middle-aged. This is because middle-aged founders have experience, network, maturity, and many other traits that makes them feel bolder, compared to when they were much younger. Number 39 reason why life gets better after 40. You feel smarter. Did you know that the average age of Nobel Prize recipients is 44 years old? The age at which most winners have received the ultimate recognition are 61 and 63. It's not won by young geniuses, but by individuals who have dedicated decades of their life to respective studies, and the compounding of that study reached breakthroughs later in their lives. Knowledge takes time, and most often we get to reap the benefits once we're past our 40s. Number 40. You're more thankful. You've experienced pains, failures, joys, and celebrations. You know that life is hard, so if you made it this far, you are thankful. Thank you guys for watching. In the theme of turning 40, if you want to learn some realizations I had after turning 40, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.